When rainforests get slashed and burned, it releases tons of carbon into the air we breathe. It changes our climate. It hurts. Every bit of rainforest that gets ripped out over there really hurts us over here.
What? Waxing your chest hair in the rainforest? All right, it's a gimmick. Everybody wants to preserve the rainforest. I wouldn't mind so much if these actors weren't such hypocrites. Harrison Ford owns 7 airplanes, not 1, 7. He admits he once flew his jet to get a cheeseburger. Mm-hmm. It makes me wish someone would confront actors about stuff like that. This spring, someone did.
Mr. Ford, any other plans to get your chest waxed again? To bring awareness to climate change?
Thanks for the question.
You still fly to get a cheeseburger? I guess you're driving a Honda Odyssey.
And you're good, too.
Oh, absolves you of owning 7 aircraft. Is it still 7, Mr. Ford? How do you recommend that Americans keep up with your carbon footprint?
The man asking those questions was Jason Mattera, author of the bestseller Hollywood Hypocrites. Jason, Harrison Ford may be a hypocrite, but you're obnoxious. You're rude.
Oh, John, I learned from the best. I followed your career at 2020, confronting people who were duplicitous and
I was
hypocrites.
confronting crooks and thieves. This is just a poor actor who's expressing his opinion.
Who has a lot of sway, especially with young people. I mean, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, young people take their cues from celebrities, and being hip and cool, being in favor of these conservationist policies that Harrison Ford strangely got his chest waxed over. But I don't, and you know what? I don't care that he owns 7 airplanes. I would love to own 7 airplanes. But please do not lecture me, do not lecture the rest of us that we're on the precipice of global warming Armageddon while you have a Sasquatch-sized carbon footprint. And that's why I confronted him.
And what you do, nobody comes close to doing. The press treats actors differently. I mean, the paparazzi annoy them, but reporters don't question them much.
They want the exclusivity. The interviews are generally patty cake sessions. They won't actually grill them on substantive policy positions that the actors themselves have taken. It's not like out of the blue. I mean, I would like someone to ask Harrison Ford a serious question about his own personal carbon footprint. I mean, you and I and Kevin, we would have to walk around spraying aerosol cans in the air all day long just to keep up with his giant carbon footprint.
Well, with 7 jets, we'd have to do more than that. Kevin, you're an independent, as you said before. You voted for Republicans and Democrats, but that makes him very unusual in Hollywood. Overwhelmingly, they support liberal Democrats. President Obama certainly, and that led to another pledge.
I pledge to be of service to Barack Obama.
I pledge
To be a servant to our president.
and all mankind, because together we can.
That was part of the Yes We Can campaign, and I obviously have a problem with it since my book's titled, No, They Can't. It points out that, yes, we can, if we means individuals, but to President Obama and Hollywood, we seems to mean government, and that's a dangerous idea. And, Kevin, you're just not allowed to say things like that in Hollywood.
You're not allowed to disagree with Hollywood, is what it really comes down to. It is mind-boggling to me, the things that come out of people's mouths and the way they promote and they push and they push and they push. And everything that they push for really doesn't have effect on them as per se. Because I've golfed with some of the big names, and I've told them, I said, you can afford to be a socialist. You're worth $100 million. And they sit there and push.
You said that to George Clooney.
I said that to a few people out there. So
George Clooney says, yeah, raise taxes on the rich people.
It's weird. They'll drive the Prius to the Emmys or something like that, but they've got the private airplane. They've got and I don't begrudge people that. You know, I wish I had a private airplane.
Lots of celebrities advocate raising taxes on the rich to help the poor. Yet over the years, I've noticed that well-connected celebrities are quick to use obscure tax dodges. And here are 2 examples.
Bon Jovi, who owns acres of land in New Jersey but pays only $100 in state property tax. Because he raises honeybees, he qualifies for a honeybee subsidy. Bruce Springsteen owns hundreds of acres of land, but pays little tax on it because an organic farmer works his land. His poorer neighbors pay more.
I'm not against anyone trying to lower their tax burden, but if you're Bon Jovi and you're Bruce Springsteen and you have not only publicly supported President Obama and campaigned for him and held rallies for him, but have decried tax cuts for the rich and have said, oh, they're robbing these poverty programs and the social contract with America is being destroyed, the middle class is harmed, and then you go and rob these very anti-poverty programs by calling yourself a farmer? I mean, come on. That's the type of hypocrisy that is frustrating to see, and why I wrote the book and are calling out these people on their duplicity.
One final example. Some of the more activist left are so eager to promote anti-globalists, they even glamorize people like Bill Ayers. His group, the Weather Underground, killed people and bombed buildings. Years later, President Obama held a fundraiser in Ayers' living room. So, sure enough, this year, Robert Redford came out with a movie based on the Weather Underground. In this clip, the terrorists are on the run.
I don't think he's running away. I think he's trying to clear his name.
Our government was murdering millions. We never betrayed each other, any of us, over all these years.
Got him. You have a full green light.
What are you willing to take a risk for?
I saw an interview with him about this movie, Redford, about this movie, and he is behind 100%. He promoted it. He said it was good, it was a good thing, and that's just sad to me. And what kind of a statement is that saying, to sit there and promote somebody that was blowing up buildings and, you know, potentially hurting millions or hundreds of people? And I don't know, it's screwed up. It's so screwed up. It's sad to see what's going on. It's strange to me.
Though I give him credit, he invited me to Sundance to talk about my books, and he seems to have a somewhat. Well, he didn't talk to me when I was there, but he was there. But he allowed a sliver of the open debate.
A sliver. Sundance. They give you a sliver, but they don't give you the full boat. That's for sure.
It did make me wish that somebody would confront Robert Redford about this.
Mr. Redford, isn't it deplorable that you're glamorizing the Weather Underground, a bunch of domestic terrorists? Are you going to make a movie about the Boston bombers next?
The Boston bombers. So did Redford never responded?
No, his entourage surrounded me, and they wouldn't let me get up close. But I think this goes beyond hypocrisy. There's just a human decency factor. It's one thing to make a movie about the Weather Underground terrorists. It's another thing, in the words of Variety, to romanticize it and make it heartfelt. We're talking about a bank robbery that resulted in the murder of 2 police officers and a security guard, and now Robert Redford is going to go make a movie that is essentially one big tribute to this. It's remarkably deplorable, even by Hollywood standards.
Jason, thank you. Kevin, thank you. If you'd like to keep this conversation going, please go on Facebook or Twitter and use that hashtag over here, Hollywood, and to let people know what you think. I'd like to know what you think. Coming up, more celebrity hypocrisy.